With Blue Link Plus, you can access your Hyundai Tucson Limited remotely. Doors unlocked, temperature set, lost car found.
There it is.
Get complimentary class-leading Blue Link Plus. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
The following is a GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street production. You've discovered your link to GoPowerCat.com's PowerCat Overtime podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor, and it starts right now. Now, let's go to the WTC Gig-Powered Studios. Here's your host, GoPowerCat.com publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
It is Friday, and this is the Gosh Golly PowerCat Overtime podcast. Woo! That's me getting excited. It's Friday. Look, if you're not familiar with this, and I feel like I have to explain this every week, people started asking us weird questions. We started answering them. It was part of our podcast for years, and now it's its own podcast on Friday because you want to kill time at work. It's better than killing coworkers. Kill some time. Don't kill your coworkers. And whatever you do, don't pick up a chair and try to hit them. That's bad. Bad, 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 bad.
I like this because we're recording it before we know what happened.
We're still recording. We're kind of recording after the questions podcast. We still don't know the penalties as we record, so we're not going to be talking about it much. Oh! We just won't. Tim Fitzgerald, we're out of gates, Zach Carlson, the WTC Gig Powered Studios, and of course we are sponsored by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. If you're in Manhattan and you require some refreshments of the adult flavoring, go to the Fridge. There's other options. I get it. But if the girl that's a 10 is looking for a date, why would you ask out the 6? Go to the Fridge. It's sexy. That got weird.
Sorry.
Do we have good questions this week? I don't know.
It's a lot of Chiefs questions.
Oh, that's right in my wheelhouse. Let me explain something, folks. I cover Kansas State sports, and I've done it essentially since a couple years out of college. I did a short stint in St. Joe. Sounds like a stretch of prison.
It sounds like a ballad that somebody sings. A short stench in St. Joe.
Stint, not stench.
Sorry, I'm tired.
I had to spend time in the city with the world's worst gentleman's club.
World's worst gentleman's club. I do apologize to Coach Mitty for asking him about.
It was very uncomfortable.
So funny. The look on his face was because he knew exactly what I was talking about. Let me give the story since this is the overtime. I went in there with my coworkers at the St. Joe News Press Gazette back in the day. This would have been the late 80s.
What a mess of a newspaper name, by the way.
I think they stripped it down to something shorter now. And now it's part of the TV station, which I don't think we had back then. Manhattan needs a TV station. That's a whole other thought. Anyhow, we just on a whim, we went in there. And it was like in an old theater in downtown St. Joe. And at the time, St. Joe was really down on its luck. It was not an attractive town. It was kind of rough and very blue collar and needed some refinishing. There's a lot of old Southern homes that were run down at the time. I'm of the understanding that it's much nicer now. Anyhow, this place was there. It was a thing to do, so we did that. I had a coworker, Jeff, who was in his 30s, and the dancer at the rail informed Jeff, "Oh, I have a son that age." You can do the math. That pretty much summed up, and we finished our drinks and said, "Leaving, what a good idea." And then we proceeded to go to the Rockin' Place in St. Joe, the bar at the Belt Bowl.
The Belk Bowl?
Belt.
Oh,
It's
That was bowling alley, right?
Yeah, it's bowling alleyway on Belt Highway.
I was going to get really excited.
Yeah, bowling alley. And I had another experience there where I was there with the fellas, and I noticed most of the fellas in the bar had left, and we were kind of in the back, really weren't paying attention. And then the announcer came on and said, "Welcome to Ladies' Night. Let's bring out Daniel." Yeah, it was male stripper night.
Good. I need singles.
Leaving. What a good idea.
Oh, my God, Fitz.
This kind of sums up my time in St. Joe.
Oh, my God.
It was a tough stretch of time. It was 8 months that drew out like a blade. It felt like 5 years. And then ended up in Salina and started covering K-State sports again, kind of. But anyhow, the point being, I cover K-State sports. You really do, if you're a professional, have to turn in your fan card. Sure, you want good things to have for K-State. Sure, it's your alma mater, but you're not there to root and rah-rah. I mean, that's really bad form in the media. So you kind of, you don't tailgate. You should never have alcohol before you go in the press box, that kind of stuff. This is kind of how the industry works and should work. Chiefs, though, I don't cover the Chiefs, nor do I cover the Royals. So I kind of keep that for fandom, which a lot of sports writers, if they're kind of national guys, have to give up their fandom. They
yes and no.
Yeah.
They kind of get away with it. Anyways.
So yeah, the industry's changed a little bit in that way, but I'm a fan. I've been asked to do some stuff for the Royals and Chiefs. In fact, we own some domain names if we ever wanted to do sites. But there's really good independent sites out there, so we haven't done that. Anyhow, it would turn it into my work, and then I couldn't say, go Chiefs, go. Because, man, this is cool. A lot of Chiefs questions. I'm in. This is the Questions Podcast.
Wrong.
This is the Overtime Podcast.
Right.
And this is Zach, and he's going to read your questions, and I hope they're stupid.
What did he say?
Ooh, from Power Cat Ryan.
I hope they're stupid.
Remember that time K-State beat Pat Mahomes and he had a Hail Mary to tie the game? How bad was that coaching staff that they had Mahomes and couldn't win the Big 12?
Was that in
16.
Lubbock?
No, sir.
Or was the one in Manhattan?
He was injured that game, too, because we were tracking. He had been in a sling all week.
Yeah. Someone saw him in Junction City.
At the Junction
Andrew
City
Hammond,
Hotel.
that's who it was.
Was it?
He said he saw him in Junction City at the Junction City MHS game the night before in a sling. And then the dude played and threw for 500 yards.
Yeah, he was milking that shoulder, just trying to get it healthy. And
Why was he at the
I have no
game?
idea.
Should have. He probably they're like, all right, this is a big high school game. We can put you in a sling, and someone will see you, and word will get out that you're not playing.
To be honest. Sounds very Cliff Kingsbury.
yeah. I knew he was good, but, there were so many worries about him being a system quarterback because it's not a productive system for quarterbacks. You don't learn how to be a quarterback at Texas Tech or in the Kingsbury system. You stare down a receiver and you throw the ball. And you make the same throws over and over. You don't huddle. You don't change plays. You don't read defenses. You just kind of do your thing. It works. It's fine. It's kind of a cheap way to win some games and not really be a great program. And then if you have some things go wrong, you don't win enough games. Yeah. They even had good receivers on that team, and they still didn't win many games because Cliff Kingsbury didn't know how to coach defense.
Did he play in 15?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I can't remember that game all that well. So I just don't know. But I do know that DJ Reed had pick 6 against him in Manhattan.
He sure did. Patrick Mahomes is in some ways going to be the Tom Brady of this generation because he's already had that impact. He got Cliff Kingsbury a head coaching job in the NFL after getting fired from a college job.
Cliff Kingsbury failed upwards.
Amazing. Oh, you coached Patrick Mahomes. You must know what you're doing. Yeah, it was amazing that K-State won that game.
I would be sick if I was a Texas Tech fan. I'm just saying.
At the opportunity you missed having him and not being a national title contender. Sad.
You can't in Madden, though. You can go back to Texas Tech and...
Well, that's cool because I think that's where Cliff Kingsbury learned football. He's playing Madden.
From Wizard6294, rate the fight. Better or worse than McGregor versus Cowboy?
I'll put it this way. I'm so happy I'm not into pay-per-view fighting.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine? It's what is it, $80? Is that
It was 65, I think, for the fight.
And it was over in a minute.
Wait, what? It's over already?
Now, granted, you're buying the whole card. That was
but
the main event.
Nobody cares.
If you care, if you follow UFC, like I think Holly Holm was on the fight, and she's a good fighter. Like there was what?
Did she win?
I think she did. See, I don't pay that close attention,
Right.
so like it's not worth it for me. But for someone that watches UFC, even if they, they're just familiar with the names, there's 2 names, McGregor, Cowboy plus Holly Holm. Like there's 2 fights. Maybe it's worth it for a casual.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's a fight where you go to Tubby's and you're like, yeah, let's watch the fight.
I'm not into the MMA, just stuff. I'm just not
either.
into it. And I accept that it's now a legitimate sport. I accept that, I recognized early on the popularity and that it was going to surpass boxing in our society in terms of a sport, and it has, which is kind of sad. But, I think boxing will go away because we're now finding out that being punch drunk in old age is CTE. I mean, they're the original guys who had it. Not saying MMA guys don't get it, but being bare-fisted, you don't get those kind of thuds you get from the gloves. So anyhow, I'm not into it. I just think it's kind of creepy.
K-State KU was better than the McGregor fight.
Because we got to write about it.
Because I was right there. No.
And it was free.
However, the K-State KU fight was like a 4 at best, okay? Silvio De Sousa's punch attempt was pretty kind of dope. And then, like, his little throwdown with James Love got interesting. Everything else other than that was just kind of weak. Let's be real. It's kind of weak. If you really wanted to take up another notch, Silvio De Sousa should have come down with the chair.
He couldn't find anyone to hit.
Yeah.
By the time he picked up the stool, there was no K-State people around him. There was just like his coaches, KU fans, the KU players, and a service dog named Lucky.
I'm just guessing
I just
that his
made that
name's
up.
Lucky.
I made it up. He was lucky he didn't get his tail stepped on.
It would have been really great. It would have been one of the best fights I've ever seen if Dejuan Gordon would have started it, grabbed his leg, pulled him out from under him, dropped Silvio De Sousa to the ground. That would have made it good.
What would have been great is if the chair gets used, so it strikes someone. If we're going wrestling rules, that's a DQ. There's no...
You can't hit someone with a chair?
I mean, unless the rules specify, there was no chairs in this basketball game. If there was, if John Higgins said, yeah, you guys can use chairs, it's allowed, no DQ there. But chairs were not part of this contest.
You got to pick up a flimsy aluminum chair, so they make a lot of noise and don't really hurt. Yeah. That was a wooden stool that probably do some damage. But the great twist would have been they were in the disabled section. Some guy in a wheelchair stands up and starts clubbing people. Like I was faking, and this is a fight. Now I'm in.
That sounds very WWE, actually. It was an entertaining fight, but yeah, I'll give it a 4.
It was just a surprise. We knew McGregor and Cowboy was going to take place, and we suspected it was going to be not worth the money. What did it last? 40 seconds?
If
correct,
short enough
it was 40 seconds.
Short enough to be tweeted out on a video.
Man, guys, it should last longer than 40 seconds. The fight.
Moving on.
Moving onward.
One thought I had last night. I was hoping on February 29th, tip-off's about to happen. All 5 players from each team, they're standing there. They drop their sticks and gloves, line brawl before the game even starts.
Quick question. Why is it acceptable to fight in hockey, but on other sports we frown upon it?
Culture.
I think they should allow a little bit of, and then like hockey, if it gets out of hand.
Dude, if you're Canadian, you want to fight people too.
You get punished for it, though.
You're cold. You're playing on ice. You're wearing all these big baggy clothing. You got blades on your feet, and you can't use them in the fight.
Have you ever thrown a punch on blades? Like, you're going everywhere. That's hard.
It's remarkable.
It takes skill.
Never used ice skates before.
Yeah, just being on ice skates would be remarkable for me. Being on feet sometimes is remarkable for me. Let's be honest.
From Herdez Joe, what's your favorite new uniform from any sport this year? He likes the new lavenders, which he thinks are gorgeous.
All white football.
All white basketball for me. Those are sweet.
So
those are
the plain Homes?
Yeah, the Wildcats ones.
Oh, the throwback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, although those football ones were nice. The white Power Cat helmets were nice. I mean, as a design, the Cats helmet is really attractive. It really is. You don't need to go back into that.
We got him to say it.
Well, I've always said that. I like the look of them. I loved them on game day. I thought it was really cool looking. But, yeah, I love those white throwbacks because they really are pretty close to what they wore back in the day.
I think they did a very good job of making those modern, but also
Right.
Very close to what you
I do like the Lavenders. And you know what I like about the Lavenders? It's something K-State fans appreciate because they know the context for the most part. Not all fans are that loyal and understand the historical meaning of it. And everyone else kind of thinks they're gaudy and hates them. I like that. That's what they were originally, because they were. They were the lavender tops, the purple shorts. They looked like crap. People made fun of lavender back then because it wasn't such a enlightened time as it is now. And everyone made fun of it, and then K-State would go in and win.
K-State basketball is in a great place with jerseys right now. You have your home, you have your away, you have your alternate black.
Which are nice.
Which you can argue you don't need black, but fans like black. Keep the
Players
black.
like the black.
Then you have two, if you will, throwbacks, we'll call them. I know the lavender isn't technically a throwback, but it's a
So they got 5 sets of jerseys.
5 sets. Don't go anymore.
That's perfect.
You're great. Don't add a gray. If they add a gray, I'm going to riot.
There's not.
Thank God.
There's not. The black one was the last video that they were going to release. According
you,
to my
Jesus.
sources.
Zach Carlson out here being a reporter for the first time since Scotty Hazelton's hiring.
We laugh because it's funny, and we laugh because it's true.
The thing I like about the basketball uniforms this year, there is no black trim on any of the regular uniforms.
Yes.
The only time you see black is when it's the main color of the black jersey, which is fine. All for it.
I would simplify the shorts on the
the shorts
base
are still
uniforms.
too loud for me.
I'd get rid of the gray on there and just be purple and white on those, and just some more simple striping like they have. I don't know. I just think the shorts are too busy.
The black shorts, though, with the Power Cats that are on the backsides are kind of weird.
I actually really like them.
It's very...
At least they tried something.
It's very turn ahead the clock MLB from 20 years ago.
I like
look.
I don't know why I like them, because I hate big logos on helmets. I hate that. I don't know why I like those shorts, but I do.
It could be coming for K-State.
Oh, God.
The giant Power
Gene
Cat.
Taylor, if you're listening, Chris Kleiman, if you're listening, please don't do a massive Power Cat on the helmet.
Power Cat that it's behind ends touch on the back side of the helmet, and they wrap around the side, and the big face is right there at the front of the helmet. Rawr.
Stop it, you're scaring me.
That was not a sound effect. I just did that.
One thing about uniforms, I was talking about this before the podcast. You notice how the numbers font changed for the men's basketball jerseys? And then in the baseball, locker room release video, they showed a picture of the cleats, and it has cats written on them in that same font. I have a theory that the uniform font will change for K-State football. That font you see on those basketball jerseys, that's what we're going to see next year. That'll be the first big change for uniforms.
My days working, taking care of my little ones can be a lot. I checked out care.com and it was so easy for me to find local, experienced, and background check sitters. Finding our babysitter was way more affordable than I thought. Care.com makes it super easy. Search for qualified candidates. You can view their profiles, read reviews and ratings, check their availability, send messages directly, and get the help that you need. Care.com should be every person's go-to.
If you're in the market for investment-worthy bags, watches, and fine jewelry, Rebag is the answer. Rebag is a luxury resale marketplace where each piece is carefully vetted and verified by experts to ensure quality and authenticity. If you're in the market, use Rebag to buy and sell finds from the world's top brands, including Hermes, Chanel, and Cartier. Head to Rebag.com to get 10% off your first purchase with code REBAG10. Shop today at Rebag.com. That's REBAG.com. And use promo code REBAG10 for 10% off your first purchase.
Moving on. From Power Cat Ryan, we've all seen that photo of Lynn Dawson smoking a heater with a refreshing Fresca between his legs during the Super Bowl. If you remade that photo with Patrick Mahomes, what would it look like?
Squirting ketchup into his mouth. Absolutely.
I love everything about him except the ketchup thing.
Swap out the cigarette for a Juul. Swap out the Fresca for a White Claw. Done.
Oh my my God, it's perfect!
2020 is here, kids.
All right, that's the answer.
But
That's it.
I'm sorry, I think Joe Burrow stole it. He was smoking a cigar in the postgame locker room.
And did you see the hat that was on Joe Burrow's lap when he was smoking that cigarette?
I didn't notice it.
BDE.
Can I say the D in that sentence? Is that allowed on a podcast?
Big energy.
Big blank
Was
energy.
it really? That's awesome.
BDE.
BDE.
And that's all it says. I love Joe Burrow. I don't like the Bengals. I don't like LSU. I didn't cheer for LSU this year, but I hope Joe Burrow breaks every record ever.
Where's Andy Dalton going? What happened to him?
Shoot, who knows?
What happened to AJ Green?
I mean,
Where's he?
AJ Green was hurt all year, and then they put him
tanked.
on the IR.
Oh,
yeah, it was kind of fishy because I think he could have played. Yeah, they did, and like the Dolphins did too for a bit, and then they started winning. It's kind of weird. Tom Brady, next quarterback of Miami Dolphins. What? Huh? What? Sorry. Yeah. Actually, it's going to be Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is going to go to the Dolphins and mentor Tua.
Wait, I thought Tampa was in on him.
Tampa or Miami.
They're going to lower.
He's going to Florida somewhere.
Going down from 30 interceptions to 20.
Double the kids.
From the Ginth.
Sorry.
From the Ginth. First Royals, now Chiefs. Think the Cats will ever play for a national championship. I would cry if they ever do. Would you guys?
It would be insane, man.
It would be insane. It is a very steep mountain to climb. Baylor saw it this season. They probably weren't going to get a chance at one loss. You got to run the table, win the Big 12, and then hope they don't pull a stunt on you even then.
I think I've said it before. It's going to be basketball before it's football, at least with the current state of college football. K-State, unless they somehow got an infusion of talent like a Trevor Lawrence grad transfer into K-State.
The entire Clemson team just decides that they want to come to Manhattan.
There is too much consolidation of high-level talent at a few programs right now in college football. It depends on how you look at it. I think it hurts the game, but people love dynasties. And we've got battling dynasties, and LSU now broke through, but they're a program that can and gets that kind of talent. But it's all in the Southeast for the most part. Ohio State is kind of in that mix, but Columbus is not that far north compared to than you probably think.
Well, and I like parity, but I also don't want, like this year, let's say they had an 8 team and Utah got in and got hot. Utah wasn't the best team in the country. So, like, on one hand, yeah, I enjoy the parity of the NCAA tournament, but I like the best team to win it. That's
okay, Jesse Newell.
That was a cheap shot.
No, K-State is not the number 10 team in the country this year.
It would have been Oregon that might have gotten, with 2 losses, gotten hot. They were really good at the end of the year, and maybe they made a run and beat the right team at the right time. But, boy, I think going to 8 makes it even more difficult on the K-States and Baylors because you got to rattle off wins. You don't, back in the day when K-State should have made it to the national championship and choked, well, they're going to play Notre Dame?
Which one? 2012? Yeah, they would have played Notre Dame.
No, going back then, it was Tennessee with T. Martin.
Oh, 98. Yes, they would have played Tennessee.
And in that case, I think in both cases they were the better team those years. But that's just not true anymore. I mean, look, I love the 98 team, but all those teams, those top 3 teams in the playoff this year were, pretty damn good. It's hard to compare them from different generations, but it's hard to sit here and say, oh, yeah, K-State would have won that. I mean, it's impossible to say that.
To answer the question, if I'm working this job when that happens, no, I will not cry at the time. Maybe later. Maybe when I'm laying down at 4 a.m. to go to bed.
At least desk would help us a lot.
Yeah, no kidding. Guys, K-State got into a fight in Lawrence, and I didn't go to bed till 2:45. What happens if they win a national championship?
We'd never go to bed again. What's going to happen, guys, is I'm going to retire and hand it off to you guys. Then it'll happen. And I'm like, what the hell?
It's just the
hell?
Fitz curse.
Thanks for hanging that on me.
You started it.
From Infected Testicle, if you could pick one food to be 0 calories and good for you, what would it be?
Everything.
Spinach artichoke dip or mozzarella sticks.
Spinach is already healthy.
Yeah, you can.
Not when you throw a bunch of cheese in there and stuff.
That's healthy.
But it's...
Are you telling me I can go shovel a bunch of spinach artichoke dip into my mouth and it's good for me?
I am. Look
better than a lot of foods.
Look at me. Take my advice.
Like, I'll be honest with you. If appetizers were a little bit cheaper, like mozzarella sticks probably cost $8, $9.
That's stupid.
Like that.
Mozzarella sticks are the most overpriced.
Yeah, absolutely.
On any menu anywhere.
But like, if apps were cheaper, I would go to a Tanner's or something. And I'm not taking a dig at Tanner's. I'm just saying, if they were cheaper, I would go to the bar. I would order a few beers. I would have like 2 apps. I don't want a burger and fries all the time. I don't want a Philly cheesesteak all the time. I just want some apps, dude. But I'm not trying to pay $30.
There's an amazing Apple restaurant that serves half-price apps.
There's an Apple restaurant that serves for about $12.99 an appetizer platter, and I tell you what, yes.
Oh,
there's also a chili pepper restaurant that also serves a sampler of appetizers.
Chili pepper restaurant.
Oh, dear.
They serve chili peppers.
Do you want to go eat at Applebee's?
Oh,
last time I ate there, I got like 2 free beers. The girl didn't know how to pour beer, so she bet the guy that he couldn't pour a perfect one. And then he did, and he was like, I don't know what to do with this beer now. And I was like, I'll take it. He was like, huh?
Way to throw yourself on that grenade.
Yes, I will take it.
Man, you sacrifice for mankind.
I'd pick French fries.
Oh, yeah, I didn't answer. Probably wings.
French fries?
Yeah.
You just would eat French fries straight up?
No, if you could pick any food to be 0 calories, that's the one I'd pick.
Interesting. I think French fries are pretty overrated.
I love French fries.
I'm with you. That's a hot take. I think French fries, with a few exceptions, are not as good as advertised. Now,
but if they were 0 calories, you're all about it.
If you look at my food pyramid, one corner is tots.
And that's why you're so fat.
That's like one of the foundation items in my food pyramid.
Can I change that to fried potatoes then?
There we go.
When I go to...
Okay, there we go.
Is that happy?
Yeah. When I go to like a McDonald's, I don't remember the last time I had fries at McDonald's. Because if you go there, I get a bunch of sandwiches. You know, if I'm hungry, I'm using my appetite on legit food. I'm not stuffing French fries down my gullet.
I'm so lazy, I'll just say, give me number 3, large with the Sprite. Done. And then I end up with French fries.
Fair.
And a couple McDoubles and 7 pies. And
that's why you're so fat.
But you'll like eat separately. Like you don't combine your stuff.
No, I'm
you're a one item per
at a time.
It's how I
used to.
I got to get one project done and before I move on to the other project. That's not just eating, but yeah, I will eat once in a while. I'll vary, and it's kind of unsettling to me. But yeah, if I sit down and I've got like potatoes and carrots and a chicken breast,
cheesy rolls.
I have a roll, and then I'll eat the carrots, and then I'll eat the chicken breast, and then I'll move on to the potato.
So that's why.
Because the potato, the mashed potatoes, kind of just slides in and fills all the gaps. It just mushes down in there.
So that's why I had so many rolls at the Brazilian steakhouse.
God, that was
That's just because you were out of control.
Yeah.
Did Zach get out of control and drunk in Memphis? No, but he did with rolls. It's crazy. It was nuts.
From Adam K63, was Andy Reid's move of eating a cheeseburger and then going to bed after the AFC Championship game a legendary move?
Flex on him, Andy. I love it. That was great.
Coach Snyder shook his head in agreement. Nice move.
Coach Snyder said, that's too much food. You fell asleep. Should have been watching film on the 49ers. That's what Coach Snyder said.
Coach Snyder said Taco Bell wasn't open?
What do you think the bar tab was roughly that Travis Kelce racked up at Ale House that night? I'm guessing you went to Ale House.
Man, I get so much money. Man, I get so much. I got a weed, did it swag, and you have the life.
That had to be insane. Absolute. I bet that dude was knocked off his ass so fast. You gotta fight for your right.
That was unbelievable.
To party. They tried to pull the mic away from him, and I was like, "You're not getting that microphone."
I'll tell you what, it's been 7 years coming, baby. I learned one thing since I've been here. You gotta fight for your right to party.
I did love Andy Reid's comments. I wonder what he'll what do you think he'll eat if he wins the Super Bowl? I mean, just another cheeseburger?
Well, if they win the Super Bowl,
will they stay in Miami to party, or will they come back to Kansas City?
What a rip-off. Hey, you get to go to Disney World. Here's a rental car. Drive up the road.
You know what? If they win the Super Bowl, the fast food buffet that Andy Reid's going to get to eat on China at the White House?
God.
It's going to be incredible.
We have pizzas. We have 300 hamburgers, many, many French fries, all of our favorite foods. I want to see what's here when we leave.
They will go all out. This is why Donald Trump did the fast food buffet.
He saw this coming.
It was for
Donald Trump's a genius.
This Chiefs.
Words not often said.
He is a very stable genius.
Riley, you're up.
I saw this coming for a long time. Patrick Mahomes is so great. He's only second in greatness to me. I don't really know how I could play football, but
you kind of have a slight Russian accent.
Yeah, that one wasn't as good. That one wasn't as good, but he would make. Did you see his comment he made to Joe Burrow? He said, "You attacked that defense like we attacked those terrorists, and your football team would have attacked those terrorists." And I was like, "Oh no!"
Let's not use that analogy, okay?
Well, then McGregor yesterday or 2 days ago.
Guys, I want nothing more than for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, so that way, and I only want it to happen if Donald Trump brings fast food in. Now it has to happen. Has to.
Last question of the podcast from Powercat Ryan. How do you watch a Super Bowl when your team is playing? I don't want Karen to try to start a convo about something I don't care about during a game. I do care about. Riley doesn't get to answer this one.
Why don't I get to answer this?
Because you're a Cowboys fan. You're not watching. This is not your team.
But I want the Chiefs to win it, and I think it's just a general question. How do you do it?
Look, did anyone notice the Karen at the brawl?
Which one?
The
one
K-State KU brawl.
No, I mean,
there was a Karen right in the middle of everything, like, please stop fighting.
But oh no, the humanity.
Someone replied to me and said, "There's always a Karen."
Yep. There is always a Karen.
And then John Boy pointed out the ladies petting the KU players' heads as if they were stingrays at the petting zoo.
I think if it, and I'm going to answer this question because guess what? I've never seen my team play for a Super Bowl, and neither have you. I don't think. I don't know how old you are, but the Chiefs haven't been to a Super Bowl in 50 years.
I'm not 50. But
I was alive, but not consciously
come
aware.
on. And it wasn't the same event.
I would have been. I would have turned 5 that summer, so I was 4 years old when they.
I'm telling you right now, if the Dallas Cowboys were playing in the Super Bowl, I would be in my apartment and I would not invite anybody over, and I would be watching by my. I'd turn my phone off because I'd tweet.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
Okay, I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan. I mean, we moved to Salina, Kansas when I was 4. So a lifelong Chiefs fan. That's been my team. I've suffered through it all. Like I said, I was alive for the Super Bowl win, but even those teams post-Super Bowl were really good. I remember Buck Buchanan, Dawson. I mean, you just go through the names. Otis Taylor, Elmo Wright, maybe my favorite Chief of all time. I've been through all of it. But I don't know what it's like to watch the Super Bowl. But I love the game of football. And for years, when we were in Salina, we'd go to a friend's house for the Super Bowl, and I'd hardly ever watch anything. In fact, Andre Coleman returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and I missed it because people were talking, and I'm getting food. And then we hosted a Super Bowl party for a couple years, and I was telling Zach, going to a Super Bowl party is not a good way to watch the Super Bowl. Hosting a Super Bowl party is the worst way to try to watch Super Bowl because, hey, do you get any more napkins? Hey, there's no toilet paper left down here. Could you get me a Fresca? I want to be Lynn Dawson. That just so.
Is this an actual event that happened?
I don't know. Yeah. So, you just don't get to do anything. So here was my thought process, and I hope my wife isn't listening. I immediately Googled hotel and air flight prices. Not because I had any dream of being able to afford to go to the actual game. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But to just be on the ground in Miami, the pseudo place of my birth, West Palm Beach, close enough, was going to be really cool. Go to Miami, hang out with Rob Cassidy, I don't want to talk about Rob Cassidy's fun. We'll just say that. and then enjoy the post party with Chiefs fans all over Miami. That's what I wanted to do. Airfare was $700. Hotels are $350 a night. I found a Hampton Inn in Fort Lauderdale for $250. Not doing it.
How much is that rental car, though?
Yeah, no doubt.
I think your best bet would have been to book it in September.
Yeah. So, well, this is how in tune I am. I didn't even know where the Super Bowl was until about a month ago. I just don't pay attention to that stuff. Anyhow, so now my immediate response, once I ruled that out, my immediate response is, let's go to Kansas City, have a party with friends. I've got a lot of friends in Kansas City. Let's go to Super Bowl party in Kansas City. Yeah, let's do it. Let's be in Kansas City for the game. Now I'm like, hold on. Even if they're all Chiefs fans, the Karen or the Chad will be there to ask questions. They're not really that passionate about the game. Who's the halftime entertainment? I'm still talking about the ads during the snap of the ball. I told Becky last night, I think I just want to go to our basement with pizza and wings and our dogs and watch the game. I don't want that. It sounds fun to be a moment of fraternal interaction because I've got some really dear friends in Kansas City. Yeah, let's share this moment together. No, it's about me, a lifelong Chiefs fan who's never seen this happen. I want to see it happen. Plus, if they lose, I want to sulk.
I have tentatively promised to go to Kansas City. I'm afraid for my personal safety and for the safety of my wallet. So I'm up in the air right now.
Because if they win, everyone's going to end up in one of the bar districts. Everyone.
All of the bar districts.
I mean, a lot of people a couple of people got shot after the AFC title game, man.
Well, that was in a
I got a friend that has an apartment down
on the fringe of town.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah,
it wasn't a
bar
okay.
district. It's in like a strip mall somewhere.
I got a friend that has an apartment like a couple blocks away from Power and Light, and I'm like, yo, maybe we should just like watch it in your place and just get like really crazy. And
Power and Light will be fun
if you can get in.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I honestly.
Probably
if you're trying to watch
Saturday night, if you want to be in there
if
Sunday.
You're trying to set that up, you probably need to be like in line to get inside at like 6 a.m. on Sunday. That's how crazy that is going to be.
I wonder how the bars with outside doors will handle that. Like I would put myself on the list at like PBR where I have friends work. Get into PBR through the back door.
And get out into the...
Yeah.
Interesting. And then the problem with that is you can't... I'm out of beer in the second quarter. What do I do? If I leave and go get another one, I'm not getting this spot back.
No, yeah.
It's a mess.
I know. Waldo.
That's why you got to bring a Camelback.
Westport, Plaza.
Then you got to pee a lot.
That's why you get a Stadium Pal.
Want to borrow an adult diaper? And get you hooked up. I've got a contact.
I'm good.
They're not as hefty as you would imagine.
Dude. What a way to end it.
Go Chiefs. Man, this is going to be so much fun. February 2nd, 5-ish o'clock. Lots of ads.
Yes!
Someday, my nonprofit's going to have a Super Bowl ad. I've just stated that publicly. It's been a private goal. Someday, Blue Shamrock will have a prostate cancer awareness ad in the Super Bowl.
They will have $3 million to spend on 30 seconds of an advertisement.
What a day.
But pretty much our target audience. Because Karen will tell her husband, what's your PSA score? That's it for the overtime. Have a great weekend. One more weekend. And then it's Super Bowl weekend. And I'm going to have some 0-calorie wings.
You've been listening to the Power Cat Overtime Podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. Power Cat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street Publishing.
Ready to ride? I thought you'd never ask.
Now streaming on Paramount Plus. It's the new original series, Lawmen, Baz Reeves.
Baz dedicated to justice.
From executive producer Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring executive producer and Emmy Award-nominated actor David Oyelowo. It's the untold story.
I'm warning you.
Of the greatest American lawman.
Your wicked days are done.
Lawmen, Baz Reeves, new original series, now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus.